enormity, and there are a lot of bad things happen. The people that do the check-in, and they're looking at 10-year jail sentences if they do. We're going to treat them so. Access to our market, the biggest market in the world. We're right now the biggest market in the world. We had a great country 4 years ago in terms of the economics. We were doubling up on China. We were doing so well. Nobody was going to catch us, but so much of it slipped away over the last 4 years under Biden. Promises, you know, that was kept. Promises made, promises kept. Any common sense reciprocal tariffs, again, reciprocal, back and forth, and I call this kind reciprocal. This is not reciprocal, but what we do is we cut it in half, we charge them. My answer is very simple. If they complain, if you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build. And we've seen companies coming in like we've never seen before. Likewise to all of the foreign presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, ambassadors, and everyone else who will soon be executives and presidents of big public companies, and to watch the enthusiasm they have now in foreign countries than they built. Companies are pouring into our country at levels never seen before with jobs and money. Really beautiful. In the coming days, there will be special interests, and the fake news will always complain. This 30 years has been proven totally wrong. They were wrong about NAFTA. They were wrong about China. They were wrong about it would have been a disaster if I didn't terminate it. If I didn't turn United Auto Workers, you would have had no jobs in this country. You were the greatest economy in the history of the world. And again, I have great respect for them. They were taking tremendous advantage of us, and I commend them for that. I say, hey, if you can get away with it, that's what's happening. And they probably, most of them are saying it's about time they did something, but and they're going to fight. They're going to fight fair. Everyone's going to fight. You know, look, you got to take care of your country, but we have to start taking care of our country now. We can't do what we. Stock market went up in my first term 88%, with NASDAQ going up 155% more than any president, the biggest anywhere in the world. I have a friend who builds car plants, and I said, I want to see the biggest and the best. He said, well, we have to go to Mexico. When I was starting to decide to run, and I went to #1 in the polls, these countries, I mean, nothing changes very much. The only thing that changed with the countries, but nothing really changes. But, it's why it's such an honor. It's such an honor to be finally able to do this. If you look at China, I took in hundreds of any other president, and yet they paid hundreds of billions, so much so that Biden couldn't do anything. They wanted to try and terminate it because he had a very special election. And then we had a very bad election happen, a very bad election. A lot of bad things happened. So when I said we're going to do it again, I said we have to make it too big to rig, and we made it too big to rig, and we won in records, and it was a monumental win. It was such an honor to see so many of you, like the world will be talking about it. The critics made the very tired predictions earlier this year, but in February, core inflation dropped for 4 weeks. And the first week, I got blamed for eggs. I said, they said eggs have gone up at like 250%, and you can't get eggs. And they were going crazy, and I said, prices are down, gasoline is way under $3, and people are beginning to be able to buy things and live again. We brought prices way down. We created 10,000 already in a few weeks, new manufacturing jobs in the history of our country. They're the highest inflation in the history of our country, brought up by energy and bad spending and bad policy, and a lot of bad things happened. How about allowing millions and millions and millions of people to pour into our country? And I see our great secretary you have done. Stand up, please, Christy. Stand up. Christy Nome. Trin Iraqua, and they want MS-13, the most vicious gangs ever. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Absolute killer gangs. And we're going to let people come in, but they want to rely on Mike and John too. And we will not cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid benefits. And the Democrats will, because that statement about 6 months ago, and everybody calls it one big, beautiful bill. And it will be that. It'll have everything, the big tax cuts and every incentive there is. It'll be Fantastic. And by the way, for the cars, we're asking for an interest deduction on the loan. So if you build the car, only in America we do it, Brian. If the car's not built in America, you don't get the interest rate deduction. But if you build the car in America, if you buy it, said, where do you get the idea? Because it's so basic. You would think that would have happened a long time ago. It never did, because now I can say that was my idea. But we're going to get us closer to the debt extension. We have to get the debt extension passed, and things that the Senate budget plan gives us together, John and Mike, and the two bills are going very well together. No bill like this is going to straighten. One bill is going to straighten out our country for many, many years to come. And we said, let's just do it and let's get it done. And some guys will love it, and some guys really believe that it's going to set us on a whole new prosperous path. We're going to cut spending and right-size the budget back to where it should be. We're going to do that very strongly. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Look at all of our senators. Oh, boy. That's a nice group of people. You'll show it to me, and I'm sure it'll have my support, Mike. Every Republican to get absolutely everything we can, and we have to take care of the American people. That's the only thing that matters. We have to take care of the American people first. We need to pass this bill immediately, get it done, including debt extension. From this day on, we're not going to let anyone tell us that American workers and families cannot have the future that they deserve. We're going to produce the cars and ships, chips, airplanes, minerals, and medicines that we need right here in America. The pharmaceutical companies are going to become roaring back. They're coming roaring back. They're all coming back to our country, because if they don't, they got a big tax to pay. And if they do, I'll be very happy, and you're going to be very happy, and you're going to be very safe. We're going to build our future in terms of what we've done, what we've gotten accomplished. I'd like to see if we can get war from not starting in the Middle East. We have to get. This has turned out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country.
Good?
Yeah.
You can just stand at the end. Just stand at the end, because there's one space.
It's still.
This is obviously a huge deal, and it's been an honor to be part of your team getting it done. Thank you.
It's not quite.
Thank you.
Flag is off center. You can make the flag more center.